Gonna slide or what? Niggas ain't wild enough. Homies investing in the rope and duct tape. And we surprised if they tie you up. Don't be surprised if they tie you up. Don't be surprised if they tie you up. We gon' slide or what? You niggas ain't wild enough. My niggas investing in rope and duct tape. Don't be surprised if they tie you up. Everybody gon' eat. We talking about groceries, nigga. I never could buy enough. Escalator style sliding up. If you talking to God, ain't dialing up. All of my niggas is fouling what? The smoke in my section is loud as fuck. This paper I'm stacking is piling up. No 38s, 40 calling up. Hope we get it quitted. They was traveling us. Grown niggas, ain't no challenging us. We used to pull up and challenge us. So NYPD tried to silence us. I used to back up in the house, window shopping, now I'm walking through sacks, I don't do no more browsing. Youngin' said he wanted trap, I gave him a pack, I told him to bring back 1,000. Put all the money in the bag, brought it to my plug, ain't no need for him to count. In Baltimore, I did time in the city, but got my money trapping out in the county. On your head, we put a bounty, can't swim, put them in that water, they be drowning. Leave that nigga where we found him, pull some bullets in Virginia, I could 100 round. Goofy ass niggas clowning, where I come from, even broke niggas styling. Lobster tails with the scallops, looking for dust, got that shit in by the gallon. Cause I'm just touched down, 10 years slept with a scalpel on the island. Quarter pound and broke it down by the ounce. Fuck a pool crib, came with a fountain. They raided the spot, so we bounced. How you talking about the hood? Never been around it. Cash flowing, getting hard to count it. Plain Jane, I'm about to drown. I do a club hop in the spreader and count it. Counting before I even walk in the spot. Cut him off, heard he was talking to cops. You pussy, you can't even walk up the block. This hoodie I got on, it cost a few hundred to cop. You niggas ain't want me to pop. We pull up with smoke if you wanted or not. Since the age of 15, I just wanted to rock. Mama kicked me out, I really just wanted a spot. It's all about principle, acting invincible. Nigga must wanna get shot. Running up in banks, hoping it pop. Swiping, walked in with the strap on, we not diking. I do the dash and that fish like a hyphen. Ozzy rapping like that, he not writing. Niggas is biting, remind me of Tyson. I'm in some foreign shit, driving no lights. Listen hit like thunder, I walked in with lightning. I fucked and go catch a flight, and ain't got no time to be wifing. Fried chicken, we was shrimp, fried rice, and Coppin' Hayes every day for indictment. Might have been on the bomb, or maybe familiar. If you play, we gon' kill you. Way before Instagram, and way before Triller, we had the block looking like Driller. Whole bunch of zombies. I come with the piece like I'm Gandhi. We was trying to make this money, my nigga. You made it real hot with that Honda. Now they on our uncles, now they on our brothers. These even on our mommies. Probably catch me with a bad bitch. Sippin' Henny somewhere with a breeze you can find me. Plug still love me, brought them straight cash. I ain't never really need no consignment. Shots hit you, shit shaking your body. Project nigga every day in the lobby. Project nigga every day in the lobby. Bombing like I put my faith on Osama. Been lying, niggas been plotting. I can look in your eyes, see you hate that I got it. No tolerance, nigga, I ain't with the nonsense. Smart and trap nigga take it to college. I was so broke, I would break down $1. Fuck a blog sign, I ain't with the gossip. Shouts to my father, he really taught me how to go make $1. Now I'm laid up in product.
Let's fucking go. See all my verses are Adderall. I woke up one morning and voiced and purchased my catalog. This a mixture of battle bars with tarot cards, the Pharaoh God, electrifying nigga, cattle prod, biblical rap, schizophysical snatch, the ritual, M. Royce, my only lyrical match, a miracle, falling off hysterical, picture that, it ain't breakfast when I'm scratching the cereal off the back pain. Hell of a thesis, Rockefeller in pieces, wave a hand and you get shot, my nigga telekinesis. We black intelligent teachers, bitches thick as bell police, they still yell from the bleachers. Woo! Adversaries, I have to bury, tackleberry, 44 coat, clap at your capillaries. I've been trapping, I'm moving packages heavy. This rapper is deadly, the golden child, I'm blacker than Eddie. Even in the trap, heaters in my lap. Walking Dead, season 6, bitch, I'm leaguing with the bat. Predator, fuck America, pledge allegiance with the gat. My weed stronger than never, smell is eating through the pack. I told my boys it's dark, but I'm spitting out. This is murder, I'm just hoping my dogs can get me out. Dirty handgun, she talk with a witty mouth. 2 drums hanging low, she walk with her titties out.
Ambulance rushing me, tried to out me, so God bless him. Never no discussion, a 4-5 with a 9 tons. I'm certified rider, my young niggas and sliders. It's the hottest Muslim maki that ever touched the college. Jesus, like sweetest peaches, I eat rappers like collars. Let the streets know, streets are twice as nice, I'm way louder than them. Without Instagram or Twitter, we still following them. Nigga ever cross me, lose his life, now that's a mob lesson. Done got it.
Yo, you already know who it is. It's your boy Prophet B. It is another week of the what you know to be as the spot. With
of course, you know, and of course, you know it's me, your boy. You wonder why she played me close? Because I beat more pussies. I beat so much pussy that Peter put me on a wanted poster. Shawn recognized.
Oh shit. Yo,
What's
you
up,
already know,
world?
man. It's another week. We doing it. We doing it the way we need to do it, making sure that we still bring the people what they need every week. That barbershop talk, that street talk, the sitting on the couch
Yeah, because
chilling with your homie talk.
we know y'all need that. Y'all can't get out. You can't get out to the shop no more. You can't get out to the basement no more. You know, you need that jolt of testosterone, especially if you're the only male in the house with a bunch of women. You know what I'm saying? So we here for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, because it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, y'all. And
Yeah, man.
speaking of the barbershop, right? There was a lady that kept open her beauty salon during this whole pandemic, actually servicing people and everything else. Where right now she's getting a $500 fine every day she stays open. And right now she's sitting in lockup. Basically, they told her, hey, look, all you gotta do is apologize, shut it down, pay the fine, and you'll be all right. And she was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So they locked her ass up. Now you know what the crazy part is though? You know why she don't care about the fines. She don't care about none of that.
Uh,
Right? She's
right.
standing up for what she believes in.
Uh,
But they said that she raised, I think it was $5 million. So it basically she got a GoFundMe page, and because
right.
she's standing up in all of this, people were just throwing money at her. So
Uh,
now she got no choice but to stay where she feels is necessary. Now she got to take a stand,
right.
and it's only going to go up now because it might have been 500,000, 500. I think it was 500. I know it was a five somewhere. It's just if it was if it was 6 or 7 figures, you know.
Right.
But that's wild crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yo,
What kind of
and
there's a black lady?
no, with white lady, of course. You know how that go.
Oh, okay,
Shit hit
okay.
shit hit different when the color of your skin different.
Yeah, it's been a lot of crazy shit going on too, along with that. Hold on, pulling something up online here. I know you heard about old boy in Georgia, Ahmaud Arbery.
Oh, bro, they said basically he committed a crime, so they went to go stop him.
Nah,
And
this is how it went down. This is how it went down. They claim that this is alleged now. Allegedly, there was a
alleged.
bunch of break-ins. Allegedly, there's a bunch of break-ins in this neighborhood. Excuse me, in this Atlanta neighborhood, right? So the brother was jogging, going for a jog through the neighborhood, and I guess one of the houses on that block is under construction, so it's just wide open. You know what I mean? It's just you pretty much just walk into the house. You feel me?
Yeah.
And this is what this is all the story that the neighbors and shit is giving. Um, they saw him running down the street, so they automatically assumed the worst. Of course, we know that the brother was stealing shit and he had to be guilty, even though he didn't have anything in his hands or any vehicle or anything like that. He's just jogging. So his father and the son uh, team, for lack of a better term, took it upon themselves, and another neighbor that a lot of people don't know about, also went out there and tried to take the law into their own hands and chased this guy down and shot him while they was, I guess, arguing with him or trying to apprehend him or whatever they want to call it. But yeah, basically killed the brother just for being out for a jog, being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, and it's a little crazy. And
And there's
I
and there's one
I seen video
and,
clips.
and yeah, I seen that, and it's one more. Yeah, it is a video clip. It's online right now. You can see that video clip, and there's another video clip circulating on the internet right now. 21-year-old Shawn Reed, who's actually a U.S. Army veteran, right? This brother for some reason or another, got into a high-speed chase with the police, right? This is he's on Facebook Live with this prophet. You know what I'm saying? Jumps out of the car, and I guess at some point, the cops gunned him down. 21 years old, man. You feel me? And that's just two that I could give you. I could give you a list of motherfuckers, man. But you know, it seems like it's always us. You feel me?
And just even talking about that, and you know, we can sit there and blame it on the pandemic and people being afraid and fearful and stuff like that. We could sit there and use that as a catalyst to say that that is the catalyst for what's going on. But
yeah, but we already know.
It's just a lot less people that are outside. There are more things. Right now, there's a lot of things that are hitting the news. There's a lot of things that people are paying attention to now because they are inside. So there isn't a point of just being busy and not seeing it anymore. It's like you're sitting there and you're watching to see what's going on outside because you're not outside.
Right.
And someone recorded that shooting in Atlanta, like because they showed the father and son jumping out of the pickup truck, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
so
you're
who the fuck
correct.
was recorded?
That's
Nobody
the other
was
person.
recorded.
That's the third party that a lot of people don't know about. I forget his name. Damn, I wish I would have wrote it down because I saw it today. But he's involved also, and they saying that he should be charged as well in the murder because that's exactly what it was. Because I guarantee you, if the roles were reversed and that was a white jogger in a black neighborhood and two black people came out and bodied him while the third black person filmed it, all three of those black people would be apprehended and underneath the jail right now.
It would have been a conspiracy to commit murder or
robbery.
we'd be talking about
their list of we'd be talking about their list of charges right now instead of, you know, they haven't been nobody's been arrested at all. Like nobody's been arrested at all. Like nothing has been done. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy because there is a ton load of violence right now that is actually being put out there. And there's a lot of stuff with the NYPD right now, which I think is very disturbing. And again, it goes to show you that depending on how you stick together and the way that you react to the authorities and your status in the community differs on how they treat you. Because in certain parts of Brooklyn, cops are being coughed at, spit on, and everything else, and they're just standing there and not doing anything.
Well,
let's arrested.
Let's keep it all the way 100 now. We know, especially with the NYPD, they got a very difficult job right now, especially with this whole pandemic shit, because now they got to approach every situation that much more cautiously. You know what I mean? They got to address every situation more seriously now because there's that chance. There is that chance that they can contract the virus just by being out there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that they're using this as an excuse. You feel me? But when you got bad apples, what they say, it only takes one bad apple to spoil the bunch. But when you got somebody who's already right, excuse me. So when you got somebody who's already corrupt, for lack of a better term, and then you give them the ammunition to go out there and target a certain demographic, let's just say, you feel me? They're not gonna get better. You understand what I'm saying? The shit is only gonna get worse. Yeah. So I mean, you gotta expect certain things. Like I saw an NYPD officer. They was arresting the brother. They said the caption said they was arresting the young brother because he didn't have his mask on. But when I saw him face down on the pavement as they were going through his pockets, I saw the mask around his face, underneath his chin. So the brother had a mask on, so it wasn't no mask shit that they were stopping him for. But the third officer was basically trying to back down the bystanders. Like, yo, go home. What are you doing here? Do you live here? Go home. It's like brothers got to really understand their rights. You know what I mean? There are certain things that they can and cannot do, make you do. Like, if you're standing there observing and you're not interfering in any way, you're a reasonable distance away, you can observe and you can film them. You know, a lot of people don't know that. As long as you're not interfering, as long as you're not getting in their way, as they say, you know what I mean? You are free to stand there. They can't tell you go inside, go home. Nah, it's none of that. You feel me? That's not in the. It's in the law books that you're allowed to stand there and watch policemen do their work. You know what I'm saying? It's a law. So it's all about who you're gonna get at that point. At the end of the day, what type of cop you're gonna get and interact with? Is it gonna be somebody that's gonna abide by that rule book, or abide by that law, or is it gonna be some dickhead that just wants you to turn around and act like you ain't see nothing because he knows that they're doing wrong?
Right. And and I understand NYPD and just law enforcement in general is under a lot of pressure. And they're human just like us, and they're fearful for their lives.
No
They
doubt,
already got to worry about bullets and everything else. Now they got to worry about this coronavirus
no
and
doubt. People, and you said people coughing and spitting on them. That's crazy, man.
right. And but I think there shouldn't be any tolerance when it comes to an NYPD officer that is trained. Now, again, they are trained in de-escalating a situation. They are
Right?
trained in different ways to
Crowd control.
train someone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, when you see NYPD officers and detectives throwing punches, closed fists, and just going at you, and you on the floor, and they're just punching you like you're in a street fight, that's unacceptable. Because
Straight up.
I've seen several videos this week where one gentleman, okay, he tried to intervene in what was happening.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, what are you doing? And he got a little too close. Now, if you're going to do what you do it from a distance. You say what you need to say. You need to record. There's procedures. File civilian complaint and all these different things. And trust and believe, with the way things are now, you file a civilian complaint, a lot of things don't get swept under the rug like they used to, because there's video proof and everything else. So you have to do what you need to do. But this gentleman, this cop, this officer, threw a hook and knocked the kid out. The kid was knocked out. Hit him with one punch in the face, knocked him out. The kid bounced on it. He landed on his face. The officer proceeded to jump on the kid, grab him, flip him around, continue to punch him, and restrain him at the same time. And it's like,
see, that's the sucker shit right there. It's like, you're gonna beat his ass after you put the cuffs on him, or while you and your boy got your knee in his back and everything. I mean, that right there just shows me that not only are you not abiding by the law, but it shows me that you got a natural fear of what you're doing, because you're only going to use tactics like that on somebody that you're scared of. You know what I'm saying? You're not just trying to gain control over someone. You're trying to gain dominance over somebody by doing shit like that. It's a mental thing. You know what I'm saying?
and it's scary, because I can tell you one thing. If I was in a situation where I was approached by law enforcement, one, I'm a big guy. So if you walk towards me and I start to talk back, my voice is kind of deep, I talk with my hands, I can be considered threatening.
A threat. Yeah, you automatically a threat. Right? Just because you're a big guy, they can be like, oh, he resisting arrest, or he was trying to intimidate me or something. You could do that just by standing there and speaking to him. You know what I'm saying? I can't control your comfort level. You feel me?
Right. So for me, it's like, I would definitely, for the sake of my self-preservation, attempt to de-escalate the situation as much as possible.
Yeah.
Keep my hands visible, not move around enough. This is where it comes a point where it's like, okay, I can sit there and try and stand up and say these are my rights, or I can sit there and be smart and live to fight another day and say, okay, officer, yes, officer, and leave it as is. If there's an issue, let's address the issue. How could this not go any further? And boom. Once it de-escalates and you feel you need to take it to that next level, ask the officer for his badge number. Now, by law, the officer has to, by law, give you his badge number. Not say, here it is, you get it yourself or whatever. He has to give it to you. Like, say it out loud. And officers know their fucking badge number because that's like their social security card, right?
Straight up.
That's how they get to work. Their employee ID number is their badge number. But they know as soon as you ask for their badge number what you're gonna do next. You're gonna file a complaint. And complaints go in their jacket, it affects their promotions and things like that. You don't wanna react in the moment and put yourself in a bad predicament. If you want to address this and make sure that something is done correctly, you file a complaint. This will stay with that officer forever. You want to make sure that he remembers the next time he wants to do what he did to you to someone else, that he'll think about it because now there's a record of it, a pattern that will stop him from being promoted to now that undercover cop, that street detective, or whatever it is, and getting promotions for him being an ass or not doing what he should be doing, which is protecting the servant.
Yeah, man, it's a process. It's a process. It's just unfortunate that a small group of people have to fuck it up for a larger group of people because generally there are probably more good officers out there than there are bad, but it's just now the at least the minorities dealing with the police, it becomes a stigma on them that it's always going to be a negative experience. Any kind of interaction is going to be a negative experience because of the evidence that we see in the video evidence and the things that are happening now, and it makes their job difficult. It makes their job more difficult, and it makes us dealing with them more difficult. You know what I mean? Because if you need the police, say you come home and somebody break in your house,
Who you gonna
you
call?
want to file a police report, you gotta call the police and
Yeah.
file that police report. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to feel like you can't call them if you need to. You know what I mean? But that's a lot of places. That's what's happening, man. And it's just very. I don't see anything being done to quell that. You know what I'm saying? I think that should be some kind of a focus in all of our communities, man, to have better police neighborhood relations. You know what I'm saying? And I think also, we always talk about this shit too on this show. I think you should put the people from the community to police that community. The problems come in when you put Earl from the suburbs in the ghetto and he's never dealt with black people before. And he don't know, what the fuck to do. All he knows is what he's seen in music, rap videos and shit. And you know what I'm saying? He think that's it.
And
So
everybody's a gangster and a drug
yeah,
dealer.
and everybody's a thug, and everybody's a threat, and everybody's a problem, and everybody's up to no good. You know what I'm saying? You get somebody from that neighborhood who knows, the people on who knows the guys on the corner ain't gonna do shit, but get a bottle and probably talk shit all night. He knows that these kids over here in the park, he knows they selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because he grew up 2 blocks from them. You know what I'm saying? So it's a common sense thing, but everything is done for a reason, man. All of that shit, all of those lines are drawn on purpose, and for a purpose. Don't ever think the shit is
But
accidental.
for a long time, I knew, that they would not allow police to patrol their neighborhoods that they grew up in. And, you know, again, that is a big that is a situation that actually kind of backfires because you putting someone there that is not vested in the community. They're not there. They don't have a stake there. Their family doesn't live there. So they don't give a fuck. At the end of their shift, They're punching out. They're going home. They're going back to their suburbs or their neighborhood, and they're like, "Fuck it, let them kill each other." Hey, because I don't gotta live there. But when you have your family members, your people, your friends, you went to high school there, it's a different thing. It's like you're gonna sit there and make sure, yo, look, you're gonna tell that young boy that you probably knew their parents that's out there doing wrong. Look, your moms wouldn't appreciate you doing this. Your pops wouldn't appreciate you doing this. Your grandmother or whoever would appreciate you being out here. Now it becomes a sense of mentoring the community and
That's true.
uplifting it to a point where they're like, oh, that's Officer so and so, and the kids are sitting there and they're coming at the Officer so and so because they're like, Officer so and so was cool. Officer so and so cares. Officer, there's a way that it can change.
Yeah.
But the higher ups got to see it that way and stop drawing those lines and condemning neighborhoods just for condemning neighborhoods' sake. But there is a bigger picture. We condemn neighborhoods, drop the property value, then they come in, gentrify the neighborhoods, and now the police officers that were here are the police officers that are able to sustain and help the community grow because they're from the neighborhoods where the gentrification came from. But we see it on the back end. And it's like, hey, why can't we get a fighting chance?
Well, when they have those meetings, when they have those what they call them, when they have those community board meetings and shit like that.
Yeah.
We don't go to those. You know what I mean? That's where they be making them decisions and talking about, where they're gonna put this and where they're gonna put that. We don't go to those meetings because, we too busy doing whatever we're doing. But if we was up in those meetings, we would hear about some of the plans that they got going down and, some of the things that they want to do. And at that particular time, that's the time when you vote on shit and, you say, well, we don't approve of that for this community or whatever the case may be. Because the problem is when the outsiders come into the community, they want to change shit up to suit their needs. They don't give a fuck about what was there previously. You know what I'm saying? And if there was more communication, in the beginning, we can understand each other a little bit better, and those people coming in could acclimate themselves more to the neighborhood, and the neighborhood could be more receptive to them coming in. You know what I'm saying?
And
ooh, that's a jewel. Where's the jewel sound effect?
You got it. Wait, fuck.
Oh,
that wasn't it.
No, that wasn't it. It was like some Pac-Man shit.
There you go. That was
it. Hear it? You heard it? I didn't even hear it.
You didn't hear it?
I didn't hear it. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a jewel sound.
Yeah.
Now,
yes, sir. So 73,566,000 people have died from the coronavirus so far. It's unfucking believable. I think almost 265,000 globally. So over 250,000 people working on 300,000 people dead from this virus that 45 only 4 months ago said was a hoax.
Right. And there's a lot of stuff going around out there and stuff like that. And they said, if I'm not mistaken, over 1,000 people died overnight, which is the highest number.
I think one day earlier in the week, one day it was like either 1,000 or 3,000, something like some crazy shit like that. In one day, like the craziest day in a long time with the shit.
So where they're saying, hey, and these are repercussions from those warm days that we had a couple of weeks ago, and people
motherfuckers just wanted to be out.
Outside. Go outside,
people just wanted to be out.
Things like that. Not wearing masks.
I ain't gonna call out no.
And
I ain't gonna. And mingling and being around each other. I ain't gonna call out no names. You know what I'm saying? I was chilling with my cousins. My cousin's shouts out to my cousin Ty. His birthday was yesterday. My birthday was Tuesday. That's why I got my snazzy dad hat on for y'all today. You know what I'm saying? So celebrating all week. Henny's on deck. Anyway, we ran into one of his peoples, you know what I'm saying, on the street. I ain't gonna say where we were, I ain't gonna say what we was doing, but he was just on the block, let's put it like that. And he rolled up on him. He was like, yo, man, of course the brother there has no mask on, no nothing. He just out in the open in the parking lot in front of the barbershop mingling. He was talking to him. We were speaking to him, of course, from the vehicle with masks on. He was saying, yeah, man, shit, I ain't had a flu shot since I was in the 5th grade. I'm good, man. You just, that's for people with weak immune systems, man. I'm good. So I was like, salute, see you later, out of here. Y'all
And
motherfuckers
that's
don't
where
take this shit serious if you want to.
this is where ignorance will actually, you know, they always say with ignorance, you know, you learn one of the strongest lessons. And in this day and time, it's not the time to be ignorant. It's the time to educate yourself and really take the time out to say, hey, yo, look, it's killing people that were perfectly, well, seemed to be perfectly healthy. Where they were saying, you know, usually it would affect the elderly. You know, they're older, their
That
immune
was the
systems
that
are a
was the
lot
myth.
weaker.
That was the myth in the beginning that it only affected the elderly, but then that shit got disproven real quick.
Started taking 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds
Babies,
and
babies and shit.
babies, you know, where it's just crazy. It, I think it's beyond the point of being ridiculous, where people are not. If you're not gonna protect yourself, at least protect those around you. You don't give a fuck about yourself. Go
Yo,
sit in a corner somewhere by yourself.
I understand we got to go out there and we got to get to the bag and we got to make money for our families. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about motherfuckers just wanting to gather socially because they tired of being cooped up and you want to go fucking do donuts in the parking lot and shoot off fireworks and shit because you bored. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time you could be passing the fucking virus on or exchanging the shit. Y'all passing the fucking virus around like a joint and y'all partying like y'all got the fucking vaccine in your pocket. You feel me? I want I want black people to be on point about something, man. Don't be the first this time. You know what I mean? We always want to be the first with some shit. You know what I mean? We always want to be the first one with the new J's. You want to be the first one with the new rims. You want to be the first one with the new, hottest whatever, fucking fashion over, women shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's not be first this time, black people. You understand what I'm saying? Let the motherfuckers go out there and protest with they firearms and their machine guns and shit like that, and you know what I'm saying, pass that shit around. And when enough of them get sick and they realize, oh shit, it's really real, let's get this shit together and they get, you know what I'm saying, some sort of plan so that people can maneuver a little bit better because, oh, believe me, there's a plan coming. The agenda is in the books already. Trust me when I say it. When they get shit right, then we can start to, you know what I'm saying, go out there and do some of the things that we used to do. But right now is not the time, people. Now is not the fucking time, man. It's time to hold it down. It's time to it's time to stay safe. You know what I'm saying? Let's not be first this time. For real. That's from me to you. Remember Sean Rex told you so.
Yes. And the other thing is, you know it's serious when New York
Shut
State,
down the. I meant to ask you about that. We got to talk about that. We got
bro,
to talk about that. Shut
bro.
down the transit system for the first time since what? 19 what?
Now, well, besides the strike, because the strike was in the late '90s, um, like they were still like this is, and that wasn't a voluntary shutdown in the '90s. That was due to some contractual shit. But
Yeah,
for them to say, yeah, we're shutting stuff down and we're
we're
gonna
shutting
do,
shit down.
like, it's serious enough where they're shutting the system down from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. That's 4 hours of no service, no access to subways.
Hmm?
Buses are still running, but you
Yeah.
already know buses run every hour at that time, so it really don't fucking matter. But subways,
Mm-hmm.
so subways always running. The longest you'll ever wait for a train in New York City is 20 minutes, and that's on the late night. they're running at 20-minute intervals. They have NYPD at every subway station preventing people from entering the train stations for
Yeah, because they got to.
hours.
They got to. They have to. Because you know
And it's
motherfuckers will
like,
be up in there anyway.
wow. I said, this morning, I'm out there early in the morning. I get to the subway train station about 4:30, 4:40 in the morning. And I'm just like, I got off the bus and I'm looking and I'm like, wow, like this shit is real, real. Like, it's really real.
It's,
Like,
it's like some I Am Legend shit. Yeah, it's for
yeah.
real, man.
And they got it
I saw
shut
some of the
down.
pictures. I couldn't believe it. Yeah,
And, of course, because I'm an essential employee and I do work for New York City Transit, that those not going in the train station doesn't apply to me. I'm able to go in and I showed the officer my badge and my ID, and I'm like, I need to get in there. He was like, okay, do what you got to do, and and it was a very good interaction. I was kind of leery about even speaking to the officer, but
yeah.
no problem. Like he even
If you
held
had
up.
that shield hold a lot to pull some
I'm
weight with it.
telling
You know
you,
what I'm
right?
saying? Yeah, you had to
So
hit him with the shield.
uh, he even held the
Like
tape
Captain
for me
America.
while I went under this shit to get on the escalator. I was like, oh, this is so cool, you know. But
Yeah, man.
it's different. And even New York City schools, they're talking about not reopening New York City schools until 2021.
Which
Talking
is
about
crazy.
they're
Which
about to
sounds
do
crazy.
remote learning for real, for real.
I'm telling you, P, somebody is gonna motherfucking come up with something that's gonna revolutionize this whole shit that we doing right here, man. I don't know who it is, I don't know what it is, but somebody's gonna come up with something to revolutionize this shit. Be mark my words, and I wish it was me. Lord knows, I wish it was me because something big is coming with this shit. This Zoom shit, this remote shit. Somebody's coming with something. B. They working on it right now while we speaking.
While we speak, and around the clock. And
While we
you know
speaking,
what? They're
it's
working
coming.
around the clock from their house. So they still working.
Exactly.
They still making money. They still making bank. And you know,
Shit. Remember, what was that? It's either Amazon or Microsoft. One of them got started in the garage, right?
all, all the big all the big ones
Yeah.
that we use today, from Microsoft, from Apple to
Yeah.
Amazon,
Was it Apple?
Facebook,
One of them. I think it was Apple.
all of
Maybe it
them,
was Apple. Yeah, all them shit
every
started in
single
the
one of
garage.
them started in the garage.
Yeah, man.
All of them
So
started in garages.
yeah, man. So shit. As long as you got a little place to work, then bong bong, you can make it happen.
And I will say this, and I have come to this realization over the last few weeks during this quarantine, is that as people we get so caught up in the aesthetics and the appearance of what we're doing because we want to promote a certain image to the people that we forget exactly what we are trying to do. What was the whole purpose of what we are doing? Like me and you are sitting here, we're not in the studio, but we're still bringing that raw, uncut content that we're known for. It doesn't matter where we're at, we still can do it.
That's right. The world got it. The world got to continue spinning.
Yeah. And people are actually withdrawing and pulling themselves back because they can't portray that image. There's a lot of chicks on Instagram and Facebook that you don't even see no more because they
Yeah,
can't
that's
go
true.
to the salon. And
Mm.
they can't even sit there and show them cooking because they don't know how to cook because they always
They
ate
can't re-
out because they look
they
so
can't
cute.
go they can't go re up on them ass shots either.
Nope. Well, actually, selective surgery is allowed now.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah,
So,
okay.
oh yeah, so they
So
can get their ass now.
they're going to get that fluff job.
But if they ain't working, where they get the bread from?
Well, you already know, OnlyFans, brother.
OnlyFans. Check out my OnlyFans page. Be in my
Man,
flat ass.
listen.
Watch it grow next week.
On the gram, brother, I tell you, if I had a nickel for every time I get hit on the gram by one of them, here, come check out my page, and then you check out the page and it's a chick advertising, and then here, hit the link in my bio for my OnlyFans. Like, just because they see DJ in the front of the name, they just assume, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
shit is crazy, B. So I mean, I've seen that activity pick up like tenfold, hundredfold. Everybody doing it now. A couple of your favorite rappers might even start doing that shit. Y'all watch and see. They talking
Because
about it.
they ain't out there making that show money.
Not out there getting that show money. Yeah. Yeah, man. Some of them, that's their bread and butter. You know what I mean? You got to think, if you're an artist, say you're an artist and you've been blessed enough to have a long and successful career. Say you've been in the game 15 years. You feel me? And you haven't put out no new music, but you've been able to tour and still do shows off of your catalog. You know what I'm saying? Imagine now all your show money stopped. You feel me? You ain't put out an album since fucking 97, 98. You feel me? And now your show money stopped? No bueno.
Yeah, definitely no bueno. Definitely no bueno.
Yeah, man. So hit us with something, man. Let the people hear a little something.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about, we're going to get into this little conversation real quick about something that 50 has said. And he was basically speaking on his son and how, you know, he was like, he used to love his son. And it's some real deep shit. And there's a lot of things that 50 said that we could relate to our lives in general, and the way you deal with people and holding them accountable for the shit that they do. So we're going to get into this new joint.
The company. I was raised in a different era. The set of values that y'all use can never perish. Y'all confuse celebrity with integrity, so I regrettably readily expose what's in the mirror. Bitch, nigga, what the business is. Fake rappers do more damage than any minstrel did. Now the fairer skin has been peppered in. The era ends. They done got better at cooning than most these niggas is. Step and fetch some recognition. Do we really like the shit or just victims of repetition? If we record pitching and picking the least most definitive. I don't follow trends, they purposely try to limit his. Let's eliminate the label from the genre. Let the labels like take fate in the form of karma. If we calmly disagree, then they label you as a problem. I'ma be a thorn in their side so they embalm them. God. We walk with God. We wear the company. Been here too long. Keep all their wickedness from me.
I was raised with respect, so I live by a code that was laid by the vets. When y'all niggas pay homage to your ancestors, when y'all niggas be honest, you let the man get you. Tap dancing, man tanning, spoon slapping, bandwagon, and hand slapping, and grand dragon. I hate the fact that I was right when 10% of the weak shit is hogging up the life. And why it's only poor niggas pouring up the Sprite. I survived the struggle, I'm blessed, driven, and humble. When I pour libation, now you
know you tune into the spot.
Cause I came from King T, I MC, I kill rappers and think backwards, so it's like pure fuck. Catch fakes between takes.
Every Thursday, y'all.
Let's loop the beat brace, watch me fuck y'all up. That's on God,
we doing it.
We walk with God.
Yeah.
We wear the company.
Woo.
Been here too long. Keep all their wickedness from me.
To the motherland, our future is backwards. Black shores, hijack Moors became the crack whores, rap wars.
What snitches getting stacks for? Marcus Garvey, Black Star pilot to Blackbird. Only real ones come aboard. We on one accord. We accept Jesus like you love the Lord. Born again like Jason Ultimatum. They can't control the prophecy, so they hate them. Underrate them. I read the haters, DNA verbatim. Electrocute a nigga like Raiden. This is called rap. Y'all say we too lyrical? That's like making square basketballs, not spherical. Masters say dumb shit get repeated by jiggaboos. You dumb nigga, you. Pin hit you like whips or the extendo dude. Then your physical flip. Invent more styles, Simone Biles in this bitch.
We walk with God. We wear the money.
We taking over.
Here to love.
Watch out, world.
People that we could not.
We are the cure for the pandemic.
Walk with God. People that we could not from
Yeah, we're here with my man Shawn, DJ Shawn recognized from the block to the out spot. Lights is up. Yeah, put your mask on, bitches.
In front of y'all, this is how I cope. This be the realest shit I ever wrote. I'm a loner, so this how I cope. This be the truest shit I ever spoke.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a loner, so this how I cope. This be the realest shit I ever wrote.
Where your baby mama?
In front of y'all, this is how I cope. This be the truest shit I ever spoke. And I ain't never gave a fuck about nothing. Counting this money, big face hunters, huh? With my niggas on a late night club and smoking loud pack. Drink till we sick to our stomachs, huh? When I go home at night, do I regret the things that I did? Nah, not at all, cause this is the life a nigga chose to live. These my immature thoughts. I wish I would've seen it sooner. Slavery been abolished, but they ain't free in junior. I'm such an immature father, don't claim on none of my juniors. When your father misses, sometimes your thoughts begin to screw up. Mitch falling off, please tell me where you heard that rumor. We must have had the same name, sorry you was confused, bro. And I ain't taming no dogs, go to the fucking groomer. Female viewers, my consumers, pockets looking like tumors. Come ride with a winner, try my best not to lose ya. Losers don't make it to class, but I bet I can school ya. I put you on to something, get Joey Crack as your tutor. Cause you ain't fucking with me with a bitch working at Hooters. Don't wanna grow up is the point I'm trying to prove, bro. Hail Marys and hallelujahs can't save you where I grew up. They said Remo ain't coming home for years. I'm just glad I got to see my niggas sooner. So until then, I ain't never gave a fuck about nothing. Counting this money, big face hunters, huh? With my niggas on a late night club and smoking loud pack. Drink till we sick to our stomachs, huh? When I go home at night, do I regret the things that I did? Nah, not at all, cause this is the life a nigga chose to live. These my immature thoughts.
Brooklyn stand up, Brooklyn stand up, Stress, yeah. Come on, bounce. Let me see you bounce. Come on, bounce. Let me see you bounce. Come on, bounce. Let me see you bounce. Come on, bounce. Let me see your hands in the air. Let me see your hands in the air. Let me see your hands in the air. Let me see you bounce. Come on, bounce. Let me see you bounce. Yeah, BK, I rep BK. I run on these tracks. That's a relay, that dirty brown water Henny. I don't do the E&J. I lost my aunt, you wrong. Everything ain't gonna be okay. I wanna say fuck rap, but I keep on coming back. Niggas still my whole staff, but I'm here to claim it back. Fuck shorty, then I leave. Yeah, ain't no strings attached. When I'm smoking cats, I'ma need more than a patch. Yeah, I'm different, pay attention, you might learn something. OG in the Fronto, you trying to burn something. I could tell you how to grind, cause I really did this shit. Used to want that kind of life on TV, now we live that shit. Yeah. Come on, bounce. Let me see you bounce. Come on, bounce. Let me see you bounce. Come on, bounce. Let me see you bounce. Come on, bounce. Let me see your hands in the air. Let me see your hands in the air. Let me see your hands in the air. Let me see you bounce. Come on, bounce. Let me see you bounce. Fuck haters, all about the money. Brown paper bag, thinking they gon' stop me. That shit only made me laugh. Selling weed in the school halls always made me late for class. Funny how it made me cash, but it never made me pass. Same ones that doubted me, now they want an autograph. I order laugh, that 40 blast, you all in grass. They saying I changed up. Hating ass niggas just mad cause I came up. Rather bring me down before they bring me up. That's why they only catch me raising my middle fingers up. Fuck niggas, yeah, I could tell you how to grind, cause I really did this shit. Used to want that kind of life on TV, now we live that shit. Yeah. Come on, bounce. Let me see you bounce. Come on, bounce. Let me see you bounce. Come on, bounce. Let me see you bounce. Come on, bounce. Let me see your hands in the air. Let me see your hands in the air. Let me see your hands in the air. Let me see you bounce. Come on, bounce. Let me see you bounce. Yeah.
Yeah, we in
Yo,
this bitch. We back, bro. We back.
back
We
like we left something.
I'm telling you, yo. You know what? With all this shit that's been going on over the past few weeks, yo, I definitely gotta say, I appreciate you, bro. Like, I definitely appreciate you being here. Yo, we back, dynamic duo, like Batman and Superman, right?
Back like rocking chairs and spinal cords.
I'm telling you, like,
Now
we
we
here
now
to
we just
do it.
gotta get now we just gotta get these pandemic numbers up. That's all.
Oh nah, I was just yo, that shit's already in the works, bro. Already in the
Yeah,
works. I was
that's all.
looking
That's
into
that's
it.
that's all. I'm just trying to restore it to its original glory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I got these different plugs, fucking sponsorships, and all that I'm working on, trying to iron all that shit out. Like they gonna start cutting checks, bro. Start cutting checks. And
Well,
for those of you that don't
you
know,
know your boy. Huh? Go ahead.
no,
What you
go
say?
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say your boy is always on the team. There's no iron team.
Yeah, no, definitely. Nah, but there's an E and we. Like I'm just saying. Well, there's an E and team too, but I'm just saying. But yeah, like there's a there's a lot of things in the works, like sponsorships for like protein, protein stuff, health stuff, veggie stuff.
Oh,
Like yeah,
you seen the new shit? The new shit is the oh, what's it called? The Nutra Boost, I think. Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
NutriBoost.
I think that's the new shit I seen. Yeah, I think it's a Nutra Boost. I think come in an orange bottle. I see a lot of the Instagram uh personalities talking about the shit now. So I guess that's the new, that's the new thing that they plug in that they paying everybody to plug.
Yeah, yo, and the thing is I understand why people go hard with it because I looked over the contract and
Uh-huh.
I want to say it's FNX. I'm probably getting it wrong. I would probably have to look it up to see, but they reached out to WEMS and they were like, look, um, we want you, we want to be able to sponsor you and you be an affiliate, and these are the conditions and whatever, and blah blah blah. So they sent out the email, and there's affiliate codes that people put in when they purchase stuff. That based on
Right.
that, you get a certain amount of percentage off of what they purchase, which is cool because
NutriBurst.
when your
It
numbers
is NutriBurst. Toya, thank you,
NutriBurst,
thank you. Yeah,
yeah,
NutriBurst.
when you get your numbers to a certain point, you know what I feel is very difficult for us as a people is that a lot of times we have to touch it to believe in it. You know, it's like
Yeah.
if I can't touch it, if I can't see it, I don't believe it.
Mhm.
And I get it
Yeah,
because
you're right.
we've been bamboozled a lot of times. It's like, yo, if you get on this boat, we're gonna bring you to a kingdom and you're gonna be great. And then we put you in fucking chains after you get on the boat. Type shit. You know, I get it. I definitely get it. I understand it. But at the end of the day, we have to look past our past. We got to look past our past. We got to say, hey, yo, you know what? When did we stop holding on to that shit that happened to us 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, BC? You're like, there's so many things that have happened, and we live in fear so much that we are in fear of being successful because we can't let go of the past. This happens in relationships. This happens in business. This happens in personal shit because you're afraid of what happened yesterday. It's like a child that touches fire is afraid to go, that gets burned, is afraid to go near the stove. But the stove ain't even on, but they won't even fucking cook. So now they live in a microwave life.
So now they grow. So now they grow up to be women who don't cook for their men. No, I'm just fucking around. I'm just fucking around. I'm just playing.
Hey,
Just playing,
hey,
ladies. Nobody get mad at the kid. Just playing.
You gotta call a spade a spade.
But no, I hear what you're saying though, for sure. I hear what you're saying though.
Yeah. Let's get into this 50 Cent shit that I heard earlier. And you know, I came across it. It popped up in my feed. You know, I'm always doing my research and shit.
Tell the people again. Tell the people again. Tell the people again in case they just. Yeah.
Right. Well, 50 Cent basically said, you know, that he did love his son. Right. And you know that in a way that's very controversial because anyone that's a parent or even being a child, you would assume or want to believe that your parent will always love you. You know, and
at the very least.
At the very least, right? Like, you know, and I gotta respect him for what he said because it gets to a point where he depicted it in his way, in the 50 way. You know, it's like he did a lot of relevance to the streets or whatever, and this, that, and the third. And he's like, I didn't know that my success would cost me my firstborn. And he's like, I don't know what happened, but when I was growing up, being 15, 16, you was starting that the sexual intercourse and all that. You was making babies and stuff like that. Like that was a thing back then. 15, 16, you was fucking and having babies. You know, he said he waited because he didn't want to risk the connection of not having that with him and his son or you know, his child. And during that time of him waiting, he became very successful. And his son is 23, 24 right now. And
yeah,
his son is doing shit that is blatantly disrespect towards his father. So,
well, he letting people influence his mind. So yeah, you know,
definitely, right? So, you know, 50 and Supreme all had beef for the longest. That was
oh,
always a thing.
and speaking of which, hold on. Since you said that, let me touch on something real quick. Last week, I made the announcement that one of the victims of the coronavirus was Supreme Magnetic. That's incorrect information. I don't want nobody coming to look for me. You know what I'm saying? It's absolute. It was his brother, from what I understand. His brother passed away from the COVID-19. Okay, continue. Go ahead. I just wanted to clear that up.
Right. So 50 Cent's son is actually, you know, homied up with Preem's son,
Right.
taking pictures, posting shit and stuff like that. Now, you know, your pops, like there's a certain type of loyalty when it comes to a child and their parent. You and your parent might not be getting along, but you know, somebody be like, yo, your mother's a bitch. It didn't matter if y'all had an argument right before you left the house. You ain't calling my mother a bitch. Like,
Yeah, no
I'm the
doubt.
only one that can think she a bitch. You,
Yeah.
my nigga, I will hurt you. And that's
And
just
vi-
the way that it is.
and vice versa. If you know, if the police come knocking on the door saying you did something, she gonna be like, "Oh no, that's not my baby. I know they
Not
got
my
that
son,
wrong. He ain't do nothing."
not my Bobby,
You know.
not
So,
my not my
so it
DJ
goes both.
Shawn recognized.
Exactly. So it goes both ways. You know what I'm
You know, and you know, I know 50 try to teach his son and show his son things. There's a lot of times that when you grow up from not having money to all of a sudden having money, you start to act different. You think rules don't apply, and there's certain things that you do where it be like, oh, he should have did this or he should have did that. But
And let's not forget that when 50 was starting to blow up and he was coming into his success, he used to take his son in the beginning on tour with him. You know what I'm saying, and to do shows and all types of shit like that. So it's not like he didn't attempt to have a relationship with him. Like he never wanted nothing to do with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure that in the beginning, that was his, that was his purpose. But as the success grew, I guess he had to spend less time with little man, and then this is what you get.
it's like what you know. There's one thing, and I'll probably get into it a little more. Society wants certain things, but they really don't know what they want. And is you want the man to take care of their child, but at the same time you want the man to be there. And if he is a provider and he's a worker or an entrepreneur or a businessman, it requires a certain amount of time and effort to put in. He can't be in both places at the same time. So it's either you want me to be a provider or we gonna sit here and we gonna hold it down in this cardboard box. You
Yeah,
know, because I can't give you this if I'm attempting to grow and trying to get because it takes time and effort to run a business, to grow a business, even to go to work. 8 hours out of
yeah,
the actually 12 hours out of your day is already accounted for before you after you wake up because it's
yeah.
getting ready, travel time, go to work, and come home. 12 hours, boom. That's half the day gone. You sleep for 8. There ain't much time in between. But if I'm working overtime and all that to provide for it, you can't expect me to be there. But then it's this thing. You have your cake and eat it too. You want me to provide, but you want me there. And then when I'm not there, you bitch. And then when I stay home, you mad because I'm broke. It
I think
doesn't make any sense.
I think it was D.L. Hughley that said that when he was young, he asked his father that why he um why he worked so much or something like that, and he was like, he's like, I ain't got no. He said, "Do you love me?" I think he said, and he said, "Nigga, I ain't got time to love you. I'm trying to feed you." He said, "You want?" He said, "Nigga, you want a hamburger or you want a hug?"
Yo, but the crazy part is that when it comes to a man and the way a lot of men do things, right? It's yo, we are task oriented. So we're gonna sit there and yo, if this is where we're trying to get, yo, that's what you need. We're gonna focus on this. We can't sit there and ping pong back and forth. It don't work. It's like like the attention span of a man is very, very short. So you sit there and the motherfucker going to eat a hamburger. Right? He going to eat a hamburger and then see titties. Now all of a sudden he ain't even hungry no more. Like it's like, oh shit. Like,
well,
oh,
that's the
titties.
well, that's the power of a man. You know what I mean? That's the power of a man right there.
Right? So it's just crazy like that. So it's like, yo, let me stay focused because if I focus on this, that ain't gonna get done.
Yeah,
And for D.L. Hughley to even put that out there is like, you want a hamburger, or you want a hug, like that shit is real.
yeah, that's real. That's going on in a lot of households right now. It's real.
And
Yeah,
with
man. Shouts out to all the black fathers. You know what I'm saying? Black mothers always get the shout out. Shouts out to the black fathers too.
yeah, because not for nothing, black women may have it hard, but black men have it harder because a black woman ain't gonna get her ass beat out there in those streets by no cop. or they ain't gonna. You don't hear about black women getting shot out there by police officers. It's more black men and black young men that are getting killed out there in these streets just for being black men. It's
Well,
like
then you gotta, then you got to remember too, it affects them also because you know what I'm saying. A lot of fathers not coming home, a lot of brothers not coming home, a lot of husbands not coming home, a lot of sons not coming home. That affects our women. You know what I mean?
it affects them. Yes, it
And it
does.
limit, and it
And
limits and it limits and it limits their options also. You know what I mean? Causing them to jump the fence and play for the other team and shit like that. And, you know,
let me go find a
shit.
rich white man. They ain't gonna kill him
Exactly.
on the street. You know,
Exactly. Shouts out to Serena.
Serena. Shout out to Eve. Shout out to
Shouts
those
out to shouts
that
out to Eve.
that checked out on the black men, but you know they missed that black dick. It
Lonnie
is what
Love. Lonnie fat ass, whatever her name is. I think it's Lonnie Love.
it is. But back to 50 Cent. 50 Cent says some shit, and it was real. And he was like, what his son is doing, his son got to be held accountable for because his son is the age that he is, 23 or 24 years old. And he's like, when he was growing up, the shit that he was doing in the streets, he would get charged as an adult and
Yo,
would
yeah,
have to and be held accountable for at
yeah,
15
no question.
years old. His son
Yeah,
is
that's real.
23 years old, and what his son is doing, people are saying, don't hold him accountable because he's not old enough. And he's like, no, he's a grown man in the eyes of the law as of 18.
Mm-hmm.
23, he surpassed that shit 5 years in. And he's like, how do you expect me to deal with it? He's like, my grandfather used to tell me, if it rattles like a snake and it moves like a snake, it's a snake. Do you need to get bit to really know?
Right.
And it's like, my son is being grimy. My son is doing shit on purpose. My son is trying to hurt me. What do I do? Still love him? He's like, how long do you love something that doesn't love you back? He's like,
That's
I love
powerful.
my son, but he doesn't love me back. And what he does is to hurt me. And it's true. It's like, you can love someone, but sometimes you have to love them from a distance, the way you love
Ooh,
them.
that's a
And
hard, that's a
just,
hard, that's a hard ball right there. How long do you love something that don't love you back?
yeah. And
Oh,
it's like, you have to kind of push away. Um, and you know what? Like, yo, I'm always gonna love
straight to
you,
that.
but I can't love you like I used to. Like, I can't love you like I used to.
Yeah, no question, man. Loyalty. It's all about loyalty, man. It's a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? Um you can't call yourself loving somebody if you're not loyal to them, if they're not loyal to you. And you also have to be able to trust them. You know what I'm saying? That's another big thing. So those things got to
Yeah,
come into play first before you can even talk about love. You know?
and I truly believe that. And today I posted something, and I'm like, the way you could repay me is with loyalty, and I forgot what the other word was. Um, but loyalty is important. Respect is important. Like, being there. Like, there are times that, you know what, I may not be at my best, but I would want you to be there the same way. If you're not at your best, I'm always going to be there for you. And I'm not quick to write people off. I always
Yeah.
give people the benefit of the doubt, which I think is one of my biggest downfalls. I give people 1,000,001 chances, but then when I get to that 1,000,002, I'm ready to take your head off. Like,
But that's
it's
it, damn
just
it. But 2020, no more for 2020, because for 2021, WEMS is gonna blow up bigger and better. You know what I mean? So he ain't gonna be giving motherfuckers a million one chances no more. You heard it here
nah,
first.
yo, WEMS South is about to be popping. Yo, WEMS Radio, you about to be able to be like, yo, Alexa, turn on WEMS Radio. It's
Mm,
about to be popping. Yo,
mm.
we gonna be on voice on command, on demand type shit. Like it's about to be crazy, crazy. When I tell you I get upset in my day-to-day life because, you know, there's a lot of things that you gotta do and you have to do because, you know, you gotta support what you brought into this world and the things that you created. And I started off at a young age. So me being 17 years old, having my first child, and you know, I love her to death. Yeah, I love all my kids, and I'll do anything for them. But there are things that I have to do to sustain being able to take care of them. That I do things that I really don't love and care about. Like it's not my passion. It's not where I want to be. And it's just it's very difficult to do what I do every day because I feel what I do every day is more of a hindrance on where I could be. It's definitely a hindrance, and I don't love what I do from, as they say, 9 to 5. But I can tell you what I do from 6 to 12. I could definitely change.
Whole different story.
Totally different story, bro. Totally different story, and we get so caught up in that comfort
Well,
zone.
you know what? Sometimes, you know what they say. Sometimes you got to walk through the rain to get to the party. You feel me?
You know what? And sometimes to weather the storm, you don't gotta hold an umbrella.
Ugh.
Yo,
Two wrongs don't make a right, but three rights make a left.
I'm telling you,
I can
yo,
do this shit I can do this shit all night. I gotta
all
tell
night.
you.
So, what is your outlook? Because I want to know what you feel about, you know, that that unconditional love, that being able to to continue. May it be a child, may it be a friendship, may it be a relationship. Like, what do you think is the end all to be all for that?
Well, you choose your friends. That's number one.
Wisely, right? As they say.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You choose your friends. Your family, you stuck with. You know what I'm saying. You just gotta take what you get. And y'all hear me say this shit on here all the time too. Sometimes you gotta watch your family closer than you gotta watch your friends because they'll jam you up just because they think you're supposed to, do this or that. You know what I mean? That could sometimes jam you up, and you got to be leery of that too. So the best thing is, the best thing I find is just be upfront with people, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell them what it is from the door, and you know what I mean. Be honest with yourself first of all. I mean, be honest with yourself. Tell yourself, yo, look, what would I feel comfortable with? You know what I mean? Am I overextending myself here? You know what I mean? You know what you're doing when you're doing it. You know what I mean? But you just gotta sometimes have that little conversation with yourself and listen to that inner voice. That inner voice is so smart and so accurate. You know what I mean? But we choose to listen to it sometimes, and sometimes we choose not to listen to it. And more often than not, when we don't listen to that little voice, that's when shit fucks up. You feel me?
This shit
So
go
listen,
all the way left.
listen to that internal voice, man. And you know what I'm saying? Don't overextend yourself. You know what I mean? Treat people the way that you want to be treated, but at the same time, don't be a dummy. You know, if you being used, you know you're being used, and that's not cool. You know what I mean? Nobody needs to be utilized like a tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If somebody wants you in their life, then they're gonna fucking act like they want you in their life. If somebody wants you in their circle, then they're gonna do things to, make sure that you're in their circle. And if they don't, then they're gonna show you who they are. And when people show you who they are, you better motherfucking pay attention to that.
And you know,
Take heed.
that is one of the situations that, you know, a lot of times I find myself in.
Nigga, we're gonna start a segment. We're gonna start a segment. I'm saying it right here. We're gonna start a segment called "Jewels to Live By." You feel me, my nigga? We just gonna hit
Rules
them.
to live by.
We just gonna hit them like 15 minutes. Hit them like
And that's the
15 minutes.
intro to the segment.
Yeah, man. Hit them like 15
Because
minutes worth of jewelry.
yeah, because you know I've learned some shit in my life, and there were things that I didn't understand. And as they say, depending on where you are in your life, you might not take the information that's provided to you as it was presented. And my father always, my father used to tell me all the time, your friend is a dollar is like a dollar in your pocket. When you don't got no dollar, you don't got no friends. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean by that? Like, I didn't understand it. As much as he told me it, I didn't get it. And not for nothing, it probably would have sounded better if he would have told me it in Spanish, but he told me it in English. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I really don't get it, but all right. Because, sometimes, I'm like, all right. But, sometimes when you translate shit over into Spanish, the shit sound better when you say it in Spanish than when you say it in English. So I'm like, oh, okay. Because, I'm telling you, to tell a girl to give me some head in English sounds a certain way. When you say
Sounds
it in
horrible.
Spanish, she like, oh, word, what did you just say?
Yeah, certain languages you can say anything and say you can say you got to take a shit in another language in certain languages, and that shit sounds smooth as hell.
For real. Well, but it's the, and I believe that it definitely depends on the delivery. The delivery, like
It's everything.
people always
Everything.
It's like I can tell you to go fuck yourself, but it's how I go tell you to go fuck yourself. Is it gonna sound good? And
Yeah.
it's like, yo, go fuck yourself, right? Or I can say, yo, vete pa'l carajo, right?
Yeah.
Which one you gonna pay attention to more? You gonna be like, yo, what the fuck you just said? Like, you said vete pa'l carajo. Like, I done sent you to hell, motherfucker, but you sitting there.
They can be like, what you say about my mama? Don't even know what you said and shit.
But it's just one of those things, bro. And it's oh man. Communication is key.
Yes, it is.
Comprehension makes it even better.
Yeah.
A lot of times we may feel that we're communicating correctly.
And he's saying that for mostly for our people.
Like,
we don't communicate. We may communicate effectively, but we don't communicate correctly a lot of the time.
Right.
You don't, because it comes.
Your audience.
It comes. Yeah, you got to know your audience, and you got to. You know what I'm saying? You got to have respect, man. You got to come at people the right way. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes the message gets lost in the translation, like you said earlier. So it's about, sometimes it's not about what you're saying, but how you say it. So you gotta have respect for who you're talking to, and you gotta get to the point, because you know what I'm saying. Especially when people are looking at you kind of halfway sideways already. You know what I mean? You got to get to the point. You can't be long talking motherfuckers and trying to get them to do something. You know what I mean? You got to sound like you know what you're talking about. You got to be direct. You got to have a, you know what I mean? Bow. This is what we're gonna do.
Answers.
Bow.
You gotta hit those points.
They don't want to hear. They don't want you stumbling and mumbling and look, we can if you want to if you guys don't mind you can't be doing that.
Oh, so you talking about we don't do the Donald Trump?
Oh, you ain't got that shit. You ain't got that queued up. You should have that shit queued up at all times. That Nipsey R.I.P. Word.
But you know what the crazy part is, and not even switching gears, but talking about Donald Trump a little bit. There's a video going around and stuff like that. I got it in my messenger. Like, I probably got it like 3, 4, 5 days ago. And I watched it today. And it's like, yo, why is it Donald Trump? And it kills me because nobody refers to him as the president. Everybody said Donald Trump. Like, everybody refers to him as Donald Trump.
Well, Fox News refers to him as the president, or they call him President Trump, or whatever. Everybody else.
I don't watch Fox News, so that's probably why I don't fucking.
Everybody else calls him something else altogether.
Right. So, as far as that goes, there was the mics were still on. There was a camera, probably a news camera that was still on,
Right.
and basically, it was a mic that was on that recorded something that it shouldn't have, and it was basically saying the reason why Donald Trump, Donald Trump is always fucking talking into a mic that wasn't there or he didn't know about or whatever it is. But there has been a vaccine for the coronavirus since September 2019 or October 2019, and the reason why they don't wear masks is because they've been vaccinated, but it's just since last year, which it makes sense because the first one that should get the vaccine that shouldn't die or shouldn't get sick is the president of the United States. He's the one.
I just heard today his valet got the shit.
And this nigga still ain't wearing a mask.
This
Agent
motherfucker still
Orange
walking around.
still is not wearing a fucking mask. That motherfucker should be masked up in a bubble when they do these news. Yo, for real. But on some real shit.
Oh, you're 100% right. You're 100% right, man.
This is the president of the United States. He's the one that addresses people. He's the one that says what's going on. Like, there's no reason why he should have to go to that room with press people. When he speaks, it should be what he's saying. He's in a room isolated from everybody, and
exactly
how he's addressing people is from a fucking screen. Why
Straight
the
up.
fuck is he not wearing a mask? And then when you turn around and you look, and when they once in a while actually show the news conference room, the prep room, the press room, or whatever it is in the White House, nobody else is wearing masks either.
Yeah, you see that, right?
And those seats are not 6 feet apart, and I don't give a fuck.
Well, they put the reporters, this equal distance apart from each other, but the rest of them are standing up on the stage under each other. You know what I mean? They might be touching the microphone. I don't know, man. Right? No mask.
Yo, what happened to that Korean fucking narcissistic young dude? What the fuck is him, Jung Yu, whatever the fuck, kamikaze pilot?
I heard this from what I heard, and this is probably wrong, but what I heard was he had some type of surgery, so they was talking about he was out of commission for the surgery, and then some kind of rumor got out that he died, and
he died, but he's still alive.
Once shit get on the internet, you know how it circulate quick, fast, and in a hurry. So,
but they said his sister's the next in line to actually run the South Korea, right?
North Korea.
Okay, yeah, she's next in line to act. She's
but I think he's alright though.
Not for nothing to squat. He might be dead. He might be.
I mean, if he is, then it's going to be some major changes for that part of the world, because I know those people, even though they're loyal to him, I know a good portion of those people probably want to live like the other half of the world is living. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be bound to the just to the borders of their, of fucking North Korea. Some of them they can't leave. You know what I mean? The people's locked in. They ain't got nothing, no internet, shit, nothing. So if they do, they shit is,
I think that now this is just me saying, if the world was able to have access to Pornhub and RedTube and all those things, it'd be a better place.
If everybody around the world had Pornhub.
Everybody around the world.
Everybody.
It's just,
man, listen.
It's just one of those things. But it's hopefully that
like a nail file.
Well, he may or may not be alive, but what we need to really understand that the world has taken a turn. It has taken a turn, and we need to adjust. We definitely need to adjust.
Oh, we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn today.
Yo, I'm
telling you, today.
We definitely gonna learn. We definitely gonna learn, because it is not a joke and it is not a game.
Somebody described this shit as the earth the earth or Mother Nature is pressing the reset button.
Yep. And you know, and when you really think about it, that's when it's like when the dinosaurs was fucking shit up. It was like, yo, how do we fix that? They hit the reset button, asteroid, then wiped it all out. There's,
Oh,
there's so many there's so many situations of species being destroyed, no longer in existence. And then what you get is the small bits and pieces of it. Like we don't got dinosaurs, but we got lizards and fucking reptiles. We're very similar to what we had before. And cavemen to the evolution to survival of the fittest and all these different things that we're sitting here and we are living proof that this is what happens when a species actually evolves.
oh yeah.
Like, like, bro, growing up, we had motherfucking telephone, and if I called out of New York City, that shit was a collect call. Was it? How to say? Was
Long
it? No,
distance,
long
long
distance
distance
call.
call.
Long
Huh?
distance call. See, I
Yes,
don't,
sir.
I fucking forgot the terms because you don't even get charged for that shit no more like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. That's like
Like
a thing of the past.
I call anywhere in the United States, it'll be all right. As soon as I call out of the country, it might be a little different. You know,
Yeah.
it's things have changed so much, and it's like we have evolved so much. But why is it that you know what? As we say, the world, Mother Nature hit the reset button. Those fucking people that still have that ignorant, unevolved thought process are the ones that are gonna be gone, the ones that are gonna be wiped out, and it will be the weak and it will be the ignorant.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of those ignorant is rich as fuck. So those are the motherfuckers that's running the show. So you know what I'm saying? Until we can get on a fucking some type of I ain't gonna say an even playing field because they making sure that shit is not even the top 1 2%, whatever. They making sure that the motherfucking playing field stays uneven. But until we get some type of leg up or somewhere closer to where the classes can meet in the middle, instead of it being just an upper class and a no class, you know what I mean? We can get some type of medium gain going on, or some kind of equality, dare I say it, then you know what I'm saying? Shit is gonna remain fucked up, man.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
definitely.
The haves taken from the have nots, man.
Yeah.
You see that fucking documentary about fucking uh Michael Jordan? You been watching that?
No, I haven't watched it. I definitely
Yeah,
haven't
man.
watched it.
Yeah, man. Now everybody's gonna scream at me because I can't remember the name. The last call, the last stand, some shit like that. It's one or the other. Anyway,
Like they
yeah, the
even
shit,
have a documentary on MJ1. So like the whole branding of the Jordan sneaker and
yeah, the
and
shit is hard though. The shit is hard. You should check it out, P, when you get a chance.
yeah, I might have some time tomorrow, maybe in the morning, to really try to do some shit.
Yeah,
Um,
man. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that you know. It's a lot of stuff that you knew already, but then it's a lot of other stuff that you didn't know. That you know what I mean. You'll see. You'll see what I'm talking. I don't want to spoil it for you. I
yeah.
think it's going to be 10 parts. I think they up to
Oh,
6 or 7.
wow.
I watched all of the shits up until now.
Well, if you pay attention to branding in itself and entrepreneurship and someone creating a brand around himself while being in the mix of like a conglomerate. Like Michael Jordan played for the NBA, the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah,
NBA a brand in itself.
yeah. You
Chicago
just gotta watch
Bulls.
that. You just gotta watch that shit, P. Motherfucker like you, especially the things that you into already. You need to watch that shit because you'll see exactly what you're talking about right now. You'll see how all of that shit came into fruition and how he just what I'm saying? He just started finagling shit, just started fall. Of course, things was falling in his lap because of who he was, but you see what I'm talking about. I just want you to check that shit out. I know you could. I
No,
know you would
I'm definitely going to
walk
check
away
it
from
out.
you. You would definitely gain something from it by watching. I mean, you'd walk away with something from it.
like I said, I scrolled across it, but I have I suffer from insomnia, so being able to sleep and sometimes I'll be up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Like
Yeah,
there was one day I was up until 3 o'clock in the morning, had to go to work, I had to get up for work at 3:30. Like that shit didn't make no sense. Like it didn't.
yeah,
And I come across certain things, and I'm like, I'm gonna get back to that because right now, if I watch it, I probably wouldn't get anything from it.
yeah.
So, you know, I definitely, I definitely pick and choose the times where it would be most beneficial. There, but there is something that I listened to the other day because I'm always moving around, and people don't understand the entrepreneur, and people always talk about life balances and
Right,
things of that nature. They like, well, if you work hard, you got to play hard
right.
or whatever. And
As you
throughout my
should.
life, throughout my life, I have always been faulted for working hard but not playing hard, like always. Um, because I would say I'm a workaholic, like I'm addicted to working, the hustle, the grind, and all that. That's who,
I love the hustle
yeah, that's who I am. But
and money making niche.
money making Mitch, right?
Mhm.
So, um, I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk, right?
Uh,
And his book Crush It, and he referred to that life balance as something where people are always talking about this life balance and you should sleep more, you should play more, not work as much. But when you come to that person that they're more focused on working and their days is 18 to 20 hours a day, you really need to understand why their days are 18 to 20 hours. And it's because their version of creating a balance is different from yours, where you're looking to play, where you're looking to relax, where you're looking to sleep. They're unhappy with their day to day, that 9 to 5 situation that they're willing to sacrifice sleep for it. So I'll work the extra 3 to 4, 5 hours a day because
right.
my balance is getting rid of what I'm unhappy doing. That 8 hours I spend, that 12 hours that we spoke about, the 2 hours getting ready and going to work, and then the two
Hmm.
hours trying to get home, the 12 hours out of your day, I'm trying to alleviate that
Yeah.
at any
Sure do.
means necessary. That is
Yeah,
my
and that's and that's
balance.
that's and that's the one that is the one benefit of this whole shit that's going on right now. That some people that weren't working from home before that are fortunate enough to be able to work from home are discovering how nice it is. You know what I mean? In some cases, and I guess they're gonna, if they're doing it now, they're gonna see if they can continue doing it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That type shit.
Yeah, and I think it's necessary. And I don't know if you ever seen it. It was a cartoon. Wally,
Yeah, the little robot.
the little robot,
Yeah,
right?
uh-huh.
But it was the way the fear of certain things and the fear of exploration and taking what someone else said and it being your new
Hmm.
normal, you put
Yeah,
yourself in a box. But Wally
yeah,
was fucking exploring everything and this, that, and the third, found life on a planet that was basically inhabitable by and able to
yeah,
sustain human life. And
yeah,
they just didn't get it. And they were like, no, like, we're not going to listen to you because this is the gospel. Getting up and going to work, going to a job, and this, that, and the third is what we know, and that's all we know. And we're not going to see nothing else. It doesn't matter how much you prove it to us. And we're looking at big business, and big business is like, yo, if we get rid of a facility for you to come here, We can pay your internet fucking service for you to be at home, getting more out of you in a day's time. And we will continue to make money over money because I used to work for Nike, right? So the Nike, the sneaker on your foot, swoosh, Jordan, the waffle soles type shit. Like I was there, I learned all that shit. And this is what they taught me. And it's if they can sit there and their monthly electric bill was close to what people made in a fucking year. If they can get rid of something like that and get you to work from home or sell sneakers or give you affiliate links and fucking salespeople codes, and you're doing this and you're doing it from home, and it alleviates that having to walk into a physical location, they're going to do it because it pushes profit margins through the roof. It pushes, there's so many things, and big business understands it, and they're going to move accordingly. And like you said earlier, don't let, what you said, don't let 10 cent hold up a dollar.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah,
don't let a dime hold up a dollar.
Right. It's like, don't let a dime hold up a dollar. It's like, yo, you got to make moves to make sure that what we doing makes sense. And if it doesn't make dollars, it don't make sense. Like that was always the hood saying, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Of course.
I said this shit, but they didn't fucking understand what it meant. So we got hip hop news for this week. What's popping?
Shit, I gave you a little bit earlier. I wanna salute LeBron James for being a real nigga and making that. Remember the story we was talking about earlier in the beginning of the show about the brother in Atlanta that you know what I'm saying, got killed by the two white supremacists that was jogging. You remember, bro? I ain't gonna fuck the brother's name up. I don't have it in front of me right now, but that brother. LeBron made a comment about it, and he was like, basically, he was just irate about the shit. He was, you know, speaking from the heart, and he was saying, you know, basically, we're targets, and as soon as we step out of the comfort zone of our homes, and you know, just we can't take a jog, and you know, he was like, what the fuck? Like, basically, that was his reaction. It was a real natural reaction that all of us have, but you know, being that it's coming from LeBron, and you know, he made it public. They're paying a lot of attention to it. And I just want to commend the young brother, man, because LeBron, you know, has always seemed to, how can I say, he's always been able, it seems like he's always been able to pretty much speak his mind and say what he's want to say and say what he wants to say without, you know, any kind of consequences, let's just say. You feel me? I mean, maybe there's other shit going on behind the scenes that's not happening for him because of his stance on certain issues. But to me, it always seems like when he's had some shit on his mind to say and involving, you know, black people, he says that shit and he really don't give a fuck. He's unapologetic about it. So I just want to salute him for that. You know what I mean? And and saying what a lot of people and saying what a lot of people really want to say and what a lot of people around the country feel about, you know, the whole climate of the shit and the senseless slaughter of our people, man. Because you know you can what they say, you can only cry and march for so long, but then after that, you know what I'm saying, something has to be done. So you can't keep protesting. So you can't protest the shit away. You know, something got to give.
Like,
not inciting no riots, YouTube, none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know, peace to the gods and the earth.
You definitely have to. At some point, there has to be a point of action, and
yes, sir.
as you know, and you know, not to sit there and try and cause controversy or anything like that, but Jordan was at a point in his career that there was probably a point where if he decided to take a stance like LeBron, it would have been respected and received just as powerful as when LeBron says it. But I think the time is
Well,
different.
if he was to say that shit right now, it wouldn't be received from him because the nigga invested in private prisons and you know what I'm saying, marrying white women and that shit
But I'm
kind of
talking
fall
about
on deaf ears. You know what I mean?
like not definitely right now, but I'm saying that if
Oh,
when we
back
look at
then, you saying back then,
yeah
before
back then when he was the
when he was three peating and shit.
right it was he was the gospel. It was like Jordan did no wrong, said no wrong, and if he would have spoke then like LeBron does now, like we had our Kobe, God rest his soul, um, that would stand up and say certain things. Um, but right now, all we got is LeBron. So
Damn, that's sad as fuck. It sounds sad as hell when you said it right there. All we got
I
is
know, right?
LeBron.
All we got
Like,
is LeBron.
damn, for real?
Yeah,
Whew.
that's all we got.
No, but I feel
And,
you though. Go ahead.
and it's just crazy. But when he speaks, people listen.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
people need to get away from, yo, I need to focus on this bag, and because they're focused on the bag so much, they're not truthful to themselves. It's like they're selling their souls. It's like LeBron at the point in his life. We don't even got to talk about his career, but his life. That he's like, yo, I'm gonna say what I need to say, and what happens after that happens
yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm gonna be good regardless.
yeah, man.
And LeBron has made investments, have brought up communities, have invested in schools and in the youth and everything else, have put back to where he came from. We're talking about investing and be invested in communities. It's like LeBron to be good whatever. Like that's why they call him the king. Like the nigga used to have Burger King commercials. Like they was like, yo, you know what? LeBron the king. And it's when you're truthful to yourself is when you reap the best fruits.
Yeah.
And he's done it. And it's just amazing to me. I just think so. And I think
Well,
that I'm gonna make sure that we top
I,
this
I think
video
that the
so we go viral.
yeah, I think that the people embrace him, man, and, and they listen to him, and it's just good that he's a positive role model for for kids and stuff like that. And I just wish more of us took a stance like that and were bold enough to say something, man. We too busy being quiet and complaining behind these internet keys and shit. You know what I'm saying? We need to be more vocal, more forward about our feelings about shit and let motherfuckers know, man. Because
Yeah, you
closed
gotta
mouths
let them
don't get
know.
fed. But straight up, I
Yo,
know we only got a few minutes. I just want to give a shout out to all the squares, all the gods out there, all the gods and earths, all the hoes out there on the stroll doing it real big, getting that money for daddy. And my man Prophet P, shout you out for holding it down every week with the technicals. I know you got wild screens in front of you right now.
wild screens, bro. Like wild screens. Like if you paid
Tell the people,
attention,
tell the people where they could, tell the people where they can find you, man. So I'm gonna tell them, and we can play some music, get the fuck out of here.
oh yeah, like if you paid attention, like if you looked in the at my sunglasses that I got on right now, you will see that my screens look crazy. But you already know.
Mad
I'm just telling
screens.
you, like it's just a whole bunch of shit going on. I'm
Yeah,
over
yeah,
here
I see it.
somewhere. Down here, I
Looking
got
like you
some
work,
shit over here.
looking like you're doing security someplace. You got wild
I'm
screens
telling
in
you,
front.
right? I got fucking 40 screens popped up. But yo, you already know who it is. Yo, it's your boy Prophet Pete. And yo, that's Prophet underscore. Now, Prophet like the money, not Prophet like the Messiah, right? When you think
There
of
you
me,
go.
you think of
There you
money,
go.
right? This Prophet, PROFIT underscore radio, right? If you don't know how to spell radio, I'm gonna spell that shit for you. RADIO. I hope I spelled that shit right, but that's the way it's spelled. right?
Hey, it's right behind. It's right behind you. In case you didn't.
I'm telling you, right? Radio right behind me, right? Underscore NY. That's how you follow me. Follow the station. That's WEMS underscore radio. And you already know we here every week. We ain't going nowhere ever. We going to expand so far that your girl is going to be like, I want to be on your gram. Because that's what it is.
And of course, you find your boy Shawn Reezy on the gram, DJ Shawn recognized, DJ SHAWNRECOGNIZE at Instagram.com. You know what I'm saying? Come and holler at your boy. And of course, make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Catch us here every week, every Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on the spot.
Yo, we might have the cipher popping off, all female cipher. We're gonna see what's going on. I just gotta confirm with the female artists that we got coming up. It might be Command Flames, and it might be Rachel 718 and a couple of other ladies.
And what's old girl? Our favorite, the joint we play all the time with the Timberland logo on the face.
Leah Wynn.
Because I might have to get Leo Wynn to breeze through too.
Leo Wynn to breeze through. Leo Timberland logo. As you turn your face into corduroys. So, yo, we gonna get into this joint by Ray Rav. Yo, after that, we out. So, while this music is playing, I'm gonna do what I need to do.
It's for anybody tryna bring war to me. Tell them to get off of me. By my dolly, how I'm supposed to be. Cause nobody ever. This for anybody tryna bring war to me. Tell them to get off of me. By my dolly, how I'm supposed to be. Cause nobody ever fought for me. It's for anybody tryna bring war to me. I'm prepared for the casualties. No, I don't know why you calling me. So they better get up off of me. It's for anybody praying on my downfall. Cause they wanna see me lose. Cause they wanna see me snooze. Front page paper or the news. Crackers wanna see me on the news. My ex wanna see me with the head. So-called bros hate the way I live. I never did understand all this fake-ish. I used to try to escape-ish. Now when I see a clown, I rise up like Pennywise and embrace it. Look in my eyes, I ain't blinking. Willis, what you talking, what you thinking? I see you watching my Formula Krusty Krab in the barrel, you blinking. What do you see in my eyes? You think I'm a fraud or a hoe in disguise? You think when I said that I did it, I lied? When you heard me rap, you said it wasn't mine? Just cause you bad, wow, challenge story like them, you could challenge mine. Give me my respect, I had to grind. It go sound like this, so my old friends jump shit. Then my new ones came aboard. Then my ex tried to jump shit, but before she did, I threw her overboard. It's a cycle that made me psycho. When you go to war, people that was supposed to be a light post, well, I'm yours with it. For anybody trying to bring war to me, tell them to get off of me. By my dolly, how I'm supposed to